Hey guys, want some corn? Want some corn? They like whole corn, imagine that. Yeah, the deer will be in here shortly. I guess the hens are out sitting on eggs right now. Muscovy ducks. They're wild around here. At times there are like 15 of them come in here. Hungry little guys. Yeah, let's get out here and release the beast. There's little ornery. What's going on, ornery? Watch him, guys. Watch him. Look at him. Wants to fight old Steve-O. Come on out, girls. Now watch what happens, guys. Watch what happens. He intimidates my little girls. Worries them to death. Worries them to death. He's got to challenge every one of them. Got to show him who's boss. These little ones are laying eggs now. They know what's going to happen, these girls in here. Come on out, girls. Let's go around and see if we got any eggs in here. Three eggs. Little chicken poop, we just throw that out the front door. I change that bedding about every 3 days. I just throw it out the front door. Fill up her water. This little tube here, this 2-inch tube here, I don't know, it's about 2 foot there and about 3 foot there. That holds 1 gallon of water. That's all I need for these chickens. And then I've got 3 little water nipples down here. It works good. I've had that thing in there for years. It works great. Alright, I gotta feed these birds. feeding the ducks back here, but it gets too expensive. It gets way too expensive. Look at the pineapples, guys. Pineapples coming in all over the place. Pineapple. Pineapple. They just keep coming. I mean, one there. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. One back over there. Wow, these bees are really bringing out the blue rags out of there. Look at, they're pulling one out right now. Yeah. We got to check this hive here on the 661. I'm waiting for these to get filled up so we can add another box. The game plan is here to get them all double boxed and get all 10 frames blown out. When that happens, we can go ahead in here, find that queen, leave this box, the empty box with no queen, on the original location, move the box with the queen off the side, and we're going to put a for sale sign on that. That's how we're going to roll here. What do we got here? Katuk. Not a bad leafy green. It's coming in nice. For whatever reason, the deer aren't hitting us right now. Last season, they stripped these things right down to nothing. Maybe they forgot about them. But I have been feeding the deer up there, so. Anyway, this is cassava. This is coming along. I got a lot of cassava in here. It's a starchy tuber. They eat them in South America. More Brazilian pepper popping up all along in here. Steve-O's. This is my little, I've been baiting here. I've been throwing an egg or two in this hole here. And some critter's been coming in here checking. I got to set a camera up and see who's coming in here. If it's a coyote, I'm going to set a leg hold right here. Try to catch him, but look at my elder. And we got some elder here that's about to go to berries, as you can see. Now my bees have been not much smell to these. My bees have been pollinating these, which is good. I see some papayas here. They're not doing much of anything. But as you can see, we've got a lot of elder in here. More Brazilian pepper, more Brazilian pepper. More elder here. So I'm going to have a little harvest of elder, should be, so I can make some more tincture. Elder tincture, I love that stuff. Yeah, we got a lot going to seed here, so that's great. Stuff gets quite tall. Orange tree, still got last year's fruit on it. Look at here, guys. Look what my honeybees have done. Look at all the new fruit coming in on it. They were really humming on this tree. This year, this tree is really going to be filling out. I did put some citrus fertilizer around this bed, so it should do very well if the green blight don't hit it. But I just give the fruit away. I don't eat the fruit. But man, I'm telling you, this year, look at the fruit coming in on this thing. It is all over the place. It is just loaded all the way to the top. So I'm really surprised that fruit's still hanging in there. I take the fruit that's fallen like this, and all I do with this fruit is I just chunk it over here, and the critters will eat it and spread them seeds out, and I should have some more fruit coming up. I've got to get in here and feed some bees, guys. Yeah, we're gonna feed all these bees. All right, let's keep going here. Let's feed the chickens. Bizarre looking comb he's got on his head. We call it a waffle comb. Waffle comb. Different. I think he's got a little gamecock in him. Look at him. He thinks he's bad to the bone. You could be chicken soup real soon, buddy. Chicken soup real soon. Alrighty, guys. Here's what I use for my bee water. Here's a piece of cypress I've had in here for 10 years or more. That's their little... Yeah, you get mosquito larvae in this thing, so it's a good idea to clean her out. Give them some fresh water. What's the date today? The 11th. I gotta check this one on 17. I think I got a few around here on 17 I gotta check. Yeah, it works pretty good. That old piece of... See, there comes a bee now. Checking it out. Get their water here. The deer come and drink a little of this water too. But I like to change it out about every week or so. Keep the mosquito larvae down. We have way down on our water this year, rain, so that swamp out here is pretty much dry. This will get water up in here. I've had water all the way to right along that edge there. I've had water come all the way up, but it's never come up high enough to get into any of these bees anyway, so that's a good thing. Alrighty, guys, here's my feed pail. I like to keep this on here, this little, just a 13-gallon craft bag. That makes kind of I just set the lid on. I don't just hammer it down tight. And I keep a little wooden plug in this nozzle here. Keep the ants out of it. Wow, that thing's in there tight. That plug is swollen up in there. Wow. Yeah, so what I do here, I make it up a few gallons at a time. I just set it there like that. Then I get my buckets. This is the one I put the water in, hot water. And this is the one I put my sugar in. So we'll get that done. Here's what I keep my sugar in. I just get my sugar 100 pounds at a time for this small operation. And I keep it in this metal galvanized can. And I put a contractor's bag in here. And this works pretty good. Then I got a metal feed scoop. Usually a couple scoops of this. That's enough. I fill it to that line. And I do the same thing with my water. I'm getting a few sugar ants in there. I'm gonna have to put some more borax around the bottom. All right, let's go get our water. Yeah, I'm getting my water here. Let's get this water really hot here. Yeah, and I'll fill that up. I'll fill that up to here. What are you doing, B? You impatient? All right, now I just dumped my hot agua in here. I'll set that bucket upside down over there to drip dry. Then I dump my sugar in. Then I hang this back on the hook. Then I get my meat hook. B, get out of here. You're not ready. It's not ready yet. It's like a fine wine. You never want to get it before it's time. Now I just swirl her up with my hand, guys. Really tough stuff, you know. It takes a rocket scientist to do this, you know. Now I'll go this way. Then I reverse it. I go this way. You're asking yourself, why do you do that, Steve-O? I don't know. I just do it. So I've got it going that way, counter. Then I come around clockwise. And guess what? It's done. Stick a fork in it, guys. It's done. So then I wash my meat hook off. Then I grab my bucket, set it back up here, grab a jar. I usually do 4 of these at a time. Sometimes there's some crud in the lid, maybe some pharaoh ants or something. Give it a rinse, hold it up to sunlight, make sure that hole isn't properly shut. Fill her up. I'll put it in my walk around bucket here. And let's do this about 20 more times. Alrighty guys, I just go around and check my buckets, whoever needs feed. See, like I got one here. It's not quite ready yet. I let them suck them dry first. And it just takes a minute to go around and do this. Yes, you can buy the interior feeders and spend a lot of money. Yeah, you can do that. You can also, while you're filling those interior feeders, you can fire up your smoker. You can go ahead and get your veil on. Yeah, you can gear all up for that. But if you feed like I'm feeding, granted, it's only a quart at a time. But if you've got a small yard like I've got, this is easy to do. Like I say, you do not have to tear a beehive apart to get this job done. And you don't even have to fire up a smoker. What you want to do though is be quick about this, and let me show you what I mean about quick. I turn my bottle upside down, I let it leak, then I come over here and quickly change this out before they think about coming out and covering you up with bee stingers, okay? Yeah, you want to be a little quick with this. But with this method, you don't need to be firing up a smoker and getting all wild and crazy. See that's nice and quick. Now see, those bees came out and their stingers are straight up. They're wanting to get some booty, but they really don't know what's happening. I can take a stinger doing this, or two. It's possible, I have, yes. But you don't want to fool around much. See, you just take this quickly and do this. Boom, it's done. The job is done. You put your buckets back on there to keep the sunlight out, and that keeps the algae out of the jars and keeps a fairly clean jar. So that's how we're doing that. I've got to go through all these colonies here and take a peek. Anything that needs food, we'll give them food. We want to have these queens laying at their maximum. The only way you're going to get maximum is feed them. Unless you're on a honey flow. The honey flow around here isn't much. That's why Steve-O's feeding these bees. So yes, it does get a little pricey because you're buying sugar, but you're jacking these bees to the max, and they're in full production mode. As soon as nectar's flowing, those queens are flowing and they're putting out the eggs, and these bees are in full production. So that's the way I do it. Many ways to do it. I never used to feed bees back in the 80s, 70s and 80s, because I was moving bees all over the state. I moved 4 times a year to different crops, and I never fed bees. Never fed bees. I had a little place at the house that I would raise queens and stuff, and I would feed them. But when I went to the field, I never fed bees. I didn't need to, because I always kept 4 supers on those bees. And when I would move the bees, I would leave 1 super, usually a partial, maybe half full of honey, or it may be full of honey, depending on the scenario. I don't know, you know. I would leave a partial on there, and then I would move the bees directly to the next location. And usually I tried to time it when I set those bees down on that next location. The bloom is already opened, or it was within days of opening, but I had that margin, that safety margin of that honey partial super sitting on top of those bees. And so I had 4-way pallets. I moved them with a forklift, and I always moved them with a partial super on those bees. So it was a deep, at the time it was all 10 frame equipment, and I ran 10 frame shallows. You have shallows, mediums, and then of course the deep box. I have a friend that he runs his entire commercial operation. He runs it all with deep boxes. Everybody's different. They do things differently. The only reason I ran shallows is that's what was available. So that's the way I rolled. And it worked pretty good. I didn't have a lot of extra boxes, but I really didn't need to. I had just enough boxes to cover all of my hives. I was running like 250 colonies. I had enough to cover all those boxes. So you can see you take 250 times 4, that's a lot of boxes manipulating. So anyway, we don't get wild and crazy with that anymore. We have downsized to just making nooks, and this is how I make my nooks. So we'll let these blow out, let these girls blow out 10 frames of brood bees. Then we'll come in and we will harvest that queen and all of her resources. We'll move her to another location. We'll take that box, drop down, do this in the middle of the day. Do this operation in the middle of the day. All that field force is out. They're going to come back to that box that's here. There will be no queen in it, but immediately you're going to make sure that you have eggs in this box and resources for them to make a new queen, or you're going to put in a cell, or you're going to buy a mated queen, or you're going to raise your own queens and put in that box. That way you keep this ball rolling. All right, speaking of ball rolling, let me finish up all my bee feeding. We'll move on. Let's go to the woods in a little bit. Alrighty guys, I got everything, all these bees fed. They're all really doing well. This girl's really doing good. I mean, I need to bust that thing up. I can make 3 colonies right there. Find her, move her over, take these 2 colonies, and leave one position right there where they're coming in. Pick up the field force. But I am really loving my new style boxes. And I wanted to make more of these, but wow. I went down there the other day, guys. That $48 sheet of plywood now is $70. $70, yes. I mean, it's got to the point now, guys, where we just have to shut down. We can't do any more building until, you know, things get realistic. I mean, we got people fleeing these other states coming into Florida here, and they're getting hit with this prices, lumber prices now. They're just off the chart crazy because we have the new people in town that don't have a clue how to run a business. And America is a business, let's face it. We are a business, and if you don't know how to run your business, the whole thing's going to crash. And that's about where we're heading. So we really need to get these people voted out ASAP and get things back realistic again. I think it's going to happen, I really do. The stupid has got to stop because it's just totally out of control. And I just told you that I got everybody fed. And look at here, I lied to you. Here's an empty jar. I got to get her fed. They're busy bees. Yeah, I mean, let's start getting realistic, guys, and get these. We got the soy, boys, and I know, like I told you before, I know what it is. They're eating too much soy. They're on the standard American diet. You can't think clearly on that. And you think I'm wrong about that? Do you think I'm wrong about what I'm saying, guys? You see what's happening? We have people. We have guys that are putting on dresses now because they're eating soy and their hormones are changing. Imagine that. They're not eating the ancestral diet. No, they're not. No, they're eating crazy stuff. They're pounding down sugar, and that changes your entire. It puts you in what they call metabolic syndrome, and it just affects the entire body. It's not healthy. It's not healthy, and so that's where we at. We have a lot of unhealthy people running the country. If you don't believe me, just look closely at them. Just look closely at them and say, is that a healthy person I'm looking at? Is it? Now, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I don't know if you've noticed that. So if I get it, Steve-O gets it, you should get it too. Because I know you're a smart person. Because you're over here watching Steve's Outdoor World, okay? So that tells me you have it together, okay? And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to be over on this site, but yeah, but you don't need to be to figure out what's going on here. These other people are fleeing these other countries to come here because they cannot stand the corruption and the socialism craziness where they're leaving from. Have you looked at the border situation lately, guys? Have you seen that mess? Okay? That is called stupid, okay? We've created stupid. If it was up to me, I'd be calling up the leader of that country and say, listen, bro, you and I are going to have a sit-down talk, okay? Because obviously you're screwing up. We got all these people flooding in because they can't stand your guts. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send my team down there, and I'm going to take out all of you people that don't know how to run that thing. But I'm wondering now, guys, do we have leaders here that know what they're doing? No, I don't think so. But we have a thing here called voting. And hopefully we'll have some, on the next round, some integrity, because I don't think we had anything on the last voting situation. No, I don't. Now you can sit and argue that all day long, but yeah, we just use some common sense here, okay? And we're gonna get her done, okay? But I'd be going down to these other countries and says, hey bro, you know, we're taking you out of the food chain. I'm going to put somebody in here that knows what's going on, because you guys have all kinds of resources here. You could be farming and making all kinds of money like we do in the U.S. But no, you've turned this thing into a nightmare, okay? So we're going to send your people back home, and we're going to send a team in to show you how to set that thing up and start farming that thing correctly, so you can start making some money. Yeah, that's how we're going to roll, guys. That's how we're going to roll. We're not going to just dump millions of people in here. You can only fit so many rats in a cage, guys, before they start eating each other. I know for a fact. You know why I know that? Because I used to breed reptiles, and I raised all the food to feed those reptiles. And yes, rats will start eating each other if you put too many in a cage, okay? And that's just about where we're at. It's kind of funny in a way, but it isn't. It's sick, okay? That's where we're at. So I just had to get off the little track there a little bit. It's not political or nothing. This is not political, guys. This is called survival of the fittest, okay? The strong will survive, and right now we're getting so weak and stupid that this cannot go on, okay? It's all about nature. It's just all about the birds and the bees. God, guys, you gotta love it. You just gotta love it. All right, let's go to the woods. Let's quit talking about crazy stuff, because you guys know the solution. You guys are smart. You have to be smart, because you wouldn't be on my channel if you weren't smart. All right? And I know there's left-wingers out there that'll watch my channel. God bless you. I love you. Just love you. I love to have a sit-down conversation with you, but a lot of times it's your way or the highway, and that's not the way life works. No, it's not. All right, let's go to the woods and see what's going on out there, because Mother Nature might show us a few tricks. Yeah, she might have a few tricks for us. All right, let's get her done. Alrighty, guys, over here at the Sotheby yard. They bringing any pollen in? Yep, there went in. There's one that went in with some pollen. I like to see that. Heck, this guy's still got some syrup on it. See these ants, guys? Them are carpenter ants. They got enough nectar for a while. We'll let them clean that jar up. Oh, we got an empty one here. Got an empty one there. And pretty much an empty one there. So I'm going to put on, I guess I'm going to just load them up equally. I'll take this partial jar back home. Alright, get these guys fed, and then we'll go to the woods. Fixing to put on a little of my homemade bug dope. Got a little coconut oil in here. Got a little coconut oil in here. I've got eucalyptus, peppermint, oil of oregano. Trust me, guys, the deer flies are bad in here this time of year. Yeah, so this helps. give my walking stick Woody. He's over there resting. He's hiding over there. Oh, Woody. Yeah, here's my new walking stick. My son was over at Epcot Center in Orlando with the family, and there was some guy there from Africa carving walking sticks, so he got me this. Yeah, so we'll break this guy in. Let's go in the woods, see what's up. Here's a little bit of saw palmetto blooming here, guys. You get a green stalk that comes right here. Here's why we call it saw palmetto. See that saw on there, guys? Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. Not a lot of these are blooming though. Here's one over there. It's got a lot of love bugs on it. Here's some over here blooming. So I don't know, we're probably halfway through it, or a little better than halfway through the bloom. Here's a stalk, a couple stalks in here. They haven't opened up yet, so this is an early bloom job here. There's one over there that's bloomed out. There's some more starting to bloom there. So it's coming along. Here's another one here. Yeah, that one hasn't quite bloomed yet. It's right on the verge of busting open. Same with this one here. So yeah, it's a good honey crop. That's a good Florida honey crop, guys. Here's one that's going to come and bloom right along here. This is your swamp cabbage or sable palm. This thing will pretty soon. As soon as this saw palmetto gets done, this will bloom. And this honey comes in fast and furious, and the bees don't fan it down good. And it's high moisture, super high moisture. Actually, the packers have to put it in a dryer and dry this honey down because it will ferment. The bees bring it in so fast and furious that they don't fan it down well. And yeah, I've made a lot of honey with that plant there in the past. All right, guys, here's a pretty decent one. Bloomed out. Different kinds of hornets, different kinds of bees, and believe it or not, right there, guys, I'll be darned, a honeybee. So they are getting some pollination out here. I'm really surprised. Actually, there was another bee down there. So we do have somebody with some bees in this area. But it's not Steve-O. So someone around here's got bees. That's a good thing. At least within a couple miles of this area. Yeah. That's a good thing. What do you think, Bear? What do you think, Bear? Do you like it? You like walking in the woods with old Steve-O? He's probably been on the crack pipe with Woody. I don't know. He just doesn't get it. I don't think this new Bear guy gets it. All right, here's some stuff here, guys, that's on the verge of popping open. So you know, here's one here that has popped open. Here's another one here. Different kinds of bees. Let's hope there's nectar in there. Here's one here. this one's winding down. You can see the pollinators like it. Me and old Bear sneaking up on some gallberry. Oh, big old flat of gallberry out here. Yep, old gallberry. And the gallberry is already bloomed out pretty much. It's about done. And now you see all these little berries coming in here. Yep, this is all bloomed out and it got berries on it. Now I'm not sure what eats them berries. I'm not sure, but it gets a little black berry on them. I don't think they're edible. I don't know. I've never tried eating them. But look at it, guys. It's just, I mean, there's a lot of other mixed stuff in here too, but it's just a huge flat of it. It goes 360 all the way around here. It likes these open areas. That's all cypress swamp. And then you've got this open patch, and it's saw palmetto and saw palmetto and gallberry mixture. So that's that. That crop is coming along, and it's all done. But man, look at the berries. They're everywhere. What do you think, Bear? You like it? I don't know. I've got a lot of training to do with Bear. I don't know if he gets it or not. I see some palmetto down in there in different stages. There's some totally bloomed out. There's some just starting. There's some more just starting. Some more back in there blooming out. So yeah, it's coming along, guys. Let's go back to base camp. I'm going to go back to base camp, have some lunch, have me a ribeye, and then I'm going to take you out there and show you another little project one of my subscribers gave me a little heads up on. It's kind of cool. It's got something to do with drone frames. Let's check that out a little bit. Alrighty, guys, this little tip here comes from one of my subscribers, Ron Reed. Ron Reed gave me this little heads up, and let's just demonstrate it here real quick. Thank you very much, Ron Reed, for this trick. You know, we're doing the drone frames. Remember, I was doing the drone frames with this thin strip across here. I made, what did I make of those? 18 of those things, right? Well, here's a different spin on things. Check it out. Kind of center this thing up. Snap that in there. Bada bing, guys. Bada bing, look at that thing. Wow. Now what we'll do, I'll get my crock pot fired up. See, this is sliding around. I'm going to put a little bead of wax there, a little bead of wax there. And I may even take one of these rope strings that I cut out from my string frame and drop a little wax in there and put one of these in there and melt that in. I may do that. But yeah, there's your drone frame. Look how fast I knocked those out. Unbelievable, guys. It's so nice in our beekeeping community that we communicate with one another and come up with these little tricks. Now he learned this from another. Let me get this stuff out of the sun here. I gotta get this stuff out of the sun. He learned this from the bee man at Faith Apiaries. Yeah. So yeah, very cool, Ron. Thank you for this tip. I'm gonna burn out some of these. You saw how quick that was. And hey guys, let's start getting this country back together and get everybody on the right page. And let's just stop this up. Here in Florida, we do a thing called fund the police, not defund the police. Oh, I'm hearing rumbling in the sky. We need rain, guys, here bad. This swamp is dry. No, we're not going to do any more defund the police. We're going to fund the police. And here's how Miss Daisy and I do this. This is kind of nice. We don't go to restaurants much, but when we do, normally it's like lunch or something. Then we'll do occasional. I mean, it's usually breakfast, but then sometimes we'll do a lunch. But yeah, when you're in the restaurant and you see a cop or 2 or 4 sitting at a table, just give the waitress one of these here and say, give me the tab on that table over there. Yeah, just pick up the tab. And if the cops should happen to come over, if he should happen to ask the waitress who picked up the tab, and she points, and a cop comes over to you, just put your hand out, shake his hand, and say, "Thank you very much for your service." That's what you do. You don't defund the police. That is the most crazy far left, absolutely over the top, insane thing that we could do in this country. So the people that are promoting this stuff, no, shut them down, guys. Let's shut them down and put them in their place. Because are there some bad cops out there? Oh yeah, they're human beings, but the majority of them are looking out for your tushy. Okay, so take care of your cops, fund your police, and there's a thing about Florida cops. Okay, if you shoot at a cop in Florida, they shoot back. And they shoot a lot, okay? They shoot a lot. So don't mess with our Florida cops. We love them. We take care of them. And we fund the cops. So when you're in a restaurant, guys, do the right thing. Pick up the tab. Show them you appreciate them. All right? And I appreciate you guys. You guys are wonderful. Keep raising them bees, guys. We got to make lots of bees this summer. Be happy. Be strong. We got to keep getting her on. See ya.